Let's bring things back home, where Sports Administrator Tracy van Ginkel is creating her own legacy at Ellis Park. Van Ginkel is the brains behind who gets signed by the Lions. For her, rugby is more than just about the best players, but the overall well-being of individuals. eNCA sports reporter Hloni Mtimkulu went to find out how she goes about this.
As head of contracts and operations at the Lions, Tracy van Ginkel is responsible for dotting the I's and crossing the T's on the paperwork of the franchise's 74 contracted players. Hers is a holistic approach to rugby that encompasses more than just 80 minutes.
Everyone thinks you get thrown a contract and you sign the contract and it's done. There are a lot of factors that you have to look at before you bring in a player, especially from a different school environment, a different province. And we don't have a mountain, we don't have a sea. But I can guarantee you that I can get the best out of you as a person, and that is important to us.
Van Ginkel has a liking for underrated players. Once identified, she works at bringing the best out of them. Her academic background, that includes a master's in sports management, helps cement the idea of life beyond rugby.
We make sure we don't set them up for failure. So if they take one subject, two subjects, whatever it is, I'm not rushing it. But if they're here for 4 years, that they leave with a baseline of an academic degree of some sort. I think that's very important. And if you can't do a degree, then we go to UJ and we do a diploma or something like that. But they need to know that rugby can end tomorrow, and then what?
To her network, that includes scouting managers, medics and player agents, gender is not an issue. But Van Ginkel admits there have been times when others she encountered perceived it as a hindrance.
Then when they realize, listen, you've got 5 years or 7 years experience, you've got a master's in sports management, and they realize that you know what you're speaking of, then they quickly backtrack. So I think in the beginning I had a bit of resistance from even coaches and things like that, where they were like, who is this, what is happening?
Van Ginkel was present as the rugby fraternity negotiated pay cuts in the brutal early days of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Contractually it does hurt. Like I said, explaining to sponsors you can't sign players, but it's not that we don't want to, it's just you're signing players now, when are they going to play? Again, you buy a Ferrari and you can't drive it, and they tell you can drive it maybe in 2 years, but you're still paying. How is that fair?
While sponsors are affected by decisions around COVID-19 restrictions, Van Ginkel says the on-again, off-again nature of things has been particularly hard on players. Hloni Mtimkulu, Johannesburg.